Let's turn your repetitive task into self-running systems. No-code and low-code platforms like Airtable, N8N, Make.com, Lovable, to mention a few, have made automation and app building easier than ever. Now you can build smart workflow, automate your daily tasks, and even scale your business operations in just a few clicks. And without a single line of code. Whether you are a do-it-yourself learner or a business owner looking to get more done with less time and cost. Today's automation project is going to show you exactly how that is possible. And if you would like me to help you set up a custom automation system for your business or team, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help you and of course collaborate with you. Alright, let's hop into my browser and dive straight into today's demo.
And today's project is very unique in that it's a very simple one. As you can see, what we have on the canvas of N8N, call it lead fetcher or lead generator. This is the trigger, the form trigger, and we have here the HTTP request, and we have the filter, and then we have the Google Sheet here. Yeah, both of them are the same. This and this are the same, but just a minor difference right there. Over here, just the difference that we have there. So I was just trying to test out something. That was how we have this difference. So I'm going to show you in a few minutes what the difference is. Okay, but both of them are the same thing. They do the same thing. Okay, so what this does actually is to help you fetch leads from online. It begins here with Jotform. You can use any kind of form you want, but over here I've decided to use Jotform. If you've watched my previous videos or previous project, you realize that I said so many things about Jotform, how flexible it is and how user-friendly it is. I'll just simply show you the interface. And for now, here is the URL of the form that we're going to be using for collecting leads, right? That we're going to be using to actually prompt that workflow into action. So simply, you come over here. If you want to create a new form, you can click on this Jotform logo right here, and it's going to take you to the home page. And once you get to the home page right here, you can click on this button to start creating your form, right? You can create from the scratch, and they already have pre-built templates that you can quickly start. You can quickly start to edit, and then before you know, you're done creating your form. So over here, I have two forms. You can see this one, lead fetcher, which is the one we're actually working on, and this one is just AI agent that I built a few months ago. Okay, so if I open this lead fetcher, you can see this is how the form looks like. I'm still going to show you the user interface of it, but this is what you have when you are creating it. So it's just a one field form where you just simply have to type in your search keywords. So, and this is how you start building. If you want to add more fields, more text fields, you can go over here and click on this add elements. If you want to do some settings, you want to do some configuration, maybe you want to like input something for this field to be required before it can be submitted, whatever it is, or maybe you want to limit the number of characters that users can input into the form, you can go ahead and do it right here. So this is the building tab, and then from building you can move to setting, and over here on the setting you can actually change the name, and you can also set conditions. You can integrate it, which we're going to do, and you can also create a bunch of workflows. There's so many other things, right? But we're not going to use all of this. All we just need to do is create the form, and it's going to have just one field with which the user can just input their search keywords and then click submit, and that's it. And then when you're done with the setting, you can move over to publish, and once you click on publish, it's going to take the form live, and then you can start sharing the URL, or you can embed it in your website, and then the user can easily access it from there. Or maybe you want to build an app that is a search app or lead generator, just like we're doing right now. You can actually use it as the interface. So once you are done creating it, you can simply copy the URL here, your search keywords, you're going to input it here, and then you click submit. So I've been able to link this particular form to the N8N that we have over here. So once a user comes here and searches, right, whatever he or she inputs here is going to be sent to what we have in N8N. Once the information from the form gets to this node here, this node will be triggered, and then the information will be sent to this HTTP request. And what this simply does actually is to fetch the information from online. Okay, so over here is where the magic actually happens. So what happens there is actually we're using the Google map scraper, and that is where this HTTP request fetches the information from, right? So once you add this node, it's going to show you some things at the back end, and over here you can see get is the method you're going to use, and then you copy this URL from the Apify. Apify is HTTP model that it uses to fetch information from the internet, right? So if you come over here, it's very simple to actually open an account. Just go to apify.com, and once you get there, just sign up for free. It's going to give you $5 worth of credit, which you can use to scrape as many leads as possible. You can see over here, I scraped more than 1,000 leads, right? And I still have $3.65 dollars left. Okay, so that's just it. So once you get to Apify, right? I'm on the Apify store right now. You can go over here and search for Google Map Scraper. You can see it pops up here. So I'm gonna click it, the first one here. So once I click it, I'm gonna just come over here. One thing you need to bear in mind is the fact that before you start using the Google Map Scraper, you need to first of all test it out, because you're testing it out manually here will actually create a JSON file for you to input into your HTTP on N8N HTTP node, right? This node that I was talking about earlier, this particular node, because you need to put a URL here, right? After inputting this URL, you need this JSON file. This JSON file here is going to help you clean the information that is coming from online. So that's what this JSON is going to do for you. And for you to get this JSON file, you need to run the search first manually on Google Map Scraper. Then you can now copy the JSON file. I'll show you how to copy it. You copy it and paste it over here and edit it to suit your particular purpose. Okay, let's go over to Apify again. So over here, once you, so what you're simply going to do here is to go ahead and search. You can see my previous search here, top 2 universities in Accra, Ghana, with all their contacts. That was my search. And then I came down here, location, I put Accra, Ghana. So you can go over here and click on this save and search. But because I already did that, I don't want to do that again, so it doesn't waste my credits. So once it's done searching, you come over here, JSON tab here, come over to JSON tab here, or this button right here. When you click it, it's going to give you the JSON script that was used to get the result. So if I click on this, for example, you can see the script, the JSON script. So what I will simply do is to copy this script, and then I'll put it and save it in my N8N HTTP node, right? So you can see the information here that is going to pull back from online, right? It's going to pull back the location, the language, and all these other information right here. And then you can see the search keywords right here, right? So I'm going to just simply edit it and replace it with the variable of that search keywords. What do I mean? Let's go back to N8N. So over here, I put the script, and I'm going to remove, because right here it's going to be showing the name of the location, but because I want to use it for every use case where I'm going to be searching for a location, so I don't want to restrict it to a particular location. So if I leave it as Ghana, for example, it's not going to give me any other information for other areas or for other locations. So I'm going to just leave it empty, so any location that is coming up can easily fill it up, right? So that's going to be the variable. And for this place, you can see over here we have the JSON file for the variable of search keywords. So that's why I input the variable that is coming from the Jotform, right? The Jotform trigger. So I'll come over here, I'll see this script right here, right? You can see this script. So what I'll simply do is to just drag this variable, right? I'm going to drag that variable over there and put it here. You can see it is green because that's the space, the user search keyword. And here is going to now be the location that the user is trying to search for the leads from, right? This is going to be, initially it was in Ghana, but you don't leave such a location there. What that helps to do is to actually create a generic kind of script that you can use for every other search that you're going to make. It may be about university, it may be about restaurant, about school, or anything else that you want to search for, so that it keeps changing, right? It's going to be such a dynamic variable. Okay, so we're done with this, so I'll move over to the next node. So this next node is just about you giving a condition. Of course, as you can see, it's a filter. So what this does actually is to help you filter unwanted information, right, from the results. If I were to be searching for university, for example, I should just exclude university that are already closed down, because chances are, if I ask for university, it might include the universities that are already closed down or that are no longer in existence. So I said for it to remove permanently closed whatever, university, restaurant, whatever it is. And then the second one is a temporarily closed. So that's just this condition here, right? So, and then the last one is that once you are done cleaning it with this filter, help me send all the information you're able to gather to a Google Sheet, right? I'm going to show you the Google Sheet right here. So this is the Google Sheet here. So I want the full name, I want the address, the email, the website, the telephone number, city, and country. So if I click on this Google Sheet, for example, let's see what is at the back end. So you can see the Google Sheet account here. I was able to connect it. It's very simple to connect your Google Sheet. Just go ahead and create a new credential and then connect your Google Sheet. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back. Then this is the name of the Google Sheet, and then you go to the first sheet. And then something else that I did here is to ensure table ID. As you can see here, right, this is a table ID here, and what this ID simply does is to ensure that you shouldn't submit one information twice. If the information is already existing on that sheet, it shouldn't give me another copy of the same information. That's why I gave it an ID. So once it recognizes that there's an ID for a particular information, it's going to ignore such an information in order for it not to be duplicated. Now I'm going to show you here this ID. You will see a place ID here. But how about the one down here? It is still the same thing. What I did in this particular node, right? This is the Apify store. So what I did was to use the API of Apify to connect to N8N HTTP, right? And you can see the URL of that of the Apify right here. So that was what I did. So over here you have two things: the N8N node and then Apify API, right? So that's what we have here. Every one of these apps, they have their nodes on N8N, and that's what makes N8N very flexible to use. So I just thought of, why am I using the general node? Why can't I just use Apify nodes instead of connecting two things together here? I can just do it once and that's all. And I just went ahead and used it here. I just wanted to test it out to see if it will work, and it did. I just connected my Apify account straight away from here without using the API. But over here, I have to use the API, right? So that's the only difference between this and this. They both do the same thing, right? Okay, so one last thing that we're going to do is to actually run it and see how it works. Okay, for now, what is going to run is the original one, the one that is showing here, right? If I want the other one to run, I'm going to go ahead and pick it here, right? So I'm going to click on original, and that's it, right? So I go back to my Jotform, right? So I'm now going to click on this, and remember the Google Sheet is empty, so let's go ahead and run restaurants in Nairobi, Kenya. So I'll click submit. It has submitted now. So now let's go over to our, if it's going to be populated. You can see right here the telephone number, you can see the city name, everything were arranged. It could be anything else. It could be a school, it could be anything. Just search, right? So this is just it.
I hope this walkthrough gave you some ideas for your next automation project. If you would like me to help you automate your workflow or project you would love to bring to life, just drop a comment below or reach out to me directly. I'll be happy to help you. Remember, automation isn't about doing less, it's about doing more of what really matters, as you save time, money, and effort. See you in the next one. Bye for now.